Happy Sunday, YouTubers. Today we are going to be making some chicken and spinach stuffed shells. Our ingredients will include some barilla, jumbo shells, some Parmesan cheese, some chopped spinach that we've allowed to thaw out, and a block of cream cheese. And of course, to make it easier on ourselves, you can grab yourself a rotisserie chicken from your local market and just chop this up. So today we're going to incorporate all of these ingredients and make something that we can meal prep for the week. So while we wait for our spinach to finish defrosting, I'm gonna boil some noodles, about half a pot. Of large shell noodles, but you could of course use more. I've already set my water on. I'm going to add a little salt to my pot and a tad bit of olive oil just so that my noodles don't stick to each other. I'm just going to give that a little stir around. And let those cook. You don't want those to cook too much. You just want them to be about al dente. So I'll let them sit there and simmer for a minute. And while those are cooking, I'm also going to start my Alfredo sauce, which is going to be what I use to cook or add flavor to my noodles and create my sauce. So we're going to start by adding about 4 tablespoons of butter to my pan. Preheat it so that it melts down. And we're just going to let that cook in there. Once this becomes a little aromatic, I'm going to pour in some heavy whipping cream, or you can use milk, but I like to use some heavy whipping cream. I'm going to pour about a cup and a half, and then some half and half. So you start to get that creamy consistency. So I'm going to give that a good stir and let that get all incorporated. And we'll let that heat up and come to a slight boil. You don't want it to get overly cooked just yet. We still have quite a little bit to add to it, but we want it to start to incorporate and come to a boil. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. While the Alfredo sauce is simmering, I'm gonna take my drained and dried spinach and put it in the bowl with my chopped up chicken and make sure I incorporate that well. And I'm just going to use my hands to give that a good mix, along with half a block of cream cheese, so about 4 ounces. Just to get a nice creamy consistency for when it goes into the shells. Oops, almost lost a piece. And you just want to mix it as well as you can so that everything incorporates really well. If I was making a large batch, I would use a whole block of cream cheese, but since this is just a small batch for the first half of the week, we're just going to use a half a block. And so you can start to see that it's getting really incorporated. Lots of greens in there, so you get your vegetables in for the week. Okay, and then I'm gonna get this off my hands, and I'm gonna give my hands a quick wash. It's really important to wash your hands to keep cross-contamination, especially when you're working with a variety of products. So just make sure you wash your hands real good, getting any of that mixture off my fingers before I do anything else. And then I'm gonna pour some of this Parmesan cheese in here. It's pre-shredded right off the package. And I'm gonna rinse that off my fingertips. Give my hands a quick dry. And then we're gonna check on our Alfredo sauce. As you can see, our Alfredo sauce is well incorporated. And it's just melting out the cheese now. Now you just stir it so that it doesn't stick. And I'm also using a non-stick pan to help so that it doesn't stick to the edges and makes it easier to clean up. And you want to make sure everything is nice and hot. And then while you're doing this, you also want to preheat your oven. I like to preheat my oven to about 350 so that it's completely heated when I am ready to put my noodles, my stuffed shells, in the oven. So as you can see, the butter, the garlic, the seasoning is all incorporated. And for color, I am going to add a little paprika. Not a lot, just a little, for a little spice and a little color. So everything has a bit of seasoning. The mixture, the sauce, the noodles were cooked in olive oil with a little salt, so everything has its own flavor to it. And you're just gonna incorporate all of these. And so I wish you could smell it though. It smells delicious. All right, now we're gonna be draining our noodles. And then we'll start that process of getting that mixture in there. And it'll be time to put it in the oven. All right, so our noodles are in the strainer. We've rinsed some cold water on those just to stop the cooking process, making sure that they're cooled off. And then we're gonna take our baking pan and we're gonna scoop a little of this mixture into each shell. So some people like to use a spoon because you don't like to get your hands dirty. That's okay. So here's a spoon. And you're gonna stuff as much of that in there as you can. And you're gonna start placing them in your baking pan. They don't have to be perfect. Perfection is not what you're going for. You just want a healthy, quick meal that you can prep for the week. And you want to put about a tablespoon of mixture in each shell so that each bite has enough flavors of the cream cheese, the spinach, and the chicken. And you just repeat this process until all of your shells are filled. Depending on how much you're making, determines how long it takes. And so we're already 3 shells in, and it's only been a few minutes. It's okay if some of your shells have ripped or torn in the process because you're going to eat them anyways. You don't want them to be too torn up. So make sure you get those in there. And all that cheese and everything will act as a binding agent. Now once you have all your shells stuffed as such, you're going to spoon or pour your Alfredo sauce that you've cooked and had waiting onto the shells. I like to start by just pouring a little on there so I don't, or drizzling a little so that I don't pour and put too much in one spot. And you'll start to smell the spinach and the chicken and all the spices and cheese. And it's okay if you have a little Alfredo sauce left over, because you can use it for other things throughout the week. Alright, so all of the shells are covered to start. As you can see, I'm going to put a little bit more on this edge, just so the noodles have some covering. And then I'm just going to pour a little down the middle. And all of that incorporate. And now we're going to put it in the oven and bake it for about 30 minutes or until this top starts getting crispy and golden brown. And you'll have a meal that you can eat for the first part of the week. The finished product: stuffed shells with chicken and spinach and a homemade Alfredo sauce. All that's left to do is taste and see how it turned out. So let's get one. They are hot, so be careful not to burn yourself. Look at that filling. We're gonna cut a piece off and taste it. Tastes delicious. The sauce is very creamy. You can taste the spinach and the chicken, and you can taste the garlic and all of the butter and spices that were put in. So if you're looking for something easy and quick to make, I think this is a good one. Takes about 45 minutes in total, depending on what ingredients you use and if you roast your own chicken or not. Don't forget to like and follow my page for more easy Sunday recipes or quick meals throughout the week. Have a good day.